All right, Shabbosai, good morning. Let us begin. So we'll begin the morning today with a little bit of Mesillas Yesharim. And we're picking up, I sent out the sheet, the PDF from Mesillas Yesharim 2 days ago. Same one, just a couple of pages. So remember, again, we began this journey in Perek Aleph of Mesillas Yesharim, where the Ramchal began by discussing the concept of Ma Chovaso Ba'olamo. A person has to ask themselves a simple yet fundamental, yet sometimes incredibly difficult question. What is my role? What is my purpose? What is my obligation in this world? Because if a person is unable to answer that particular question, then a person is unable to know, what should I put my focus on? Where should I be going? What should I be doing? What activities should I be engaging in? What activities should I be avoiding? So we left off on page Tes Zayin in the handout in the PDF that I sent out. So the Ramchal goes on. He says, "V'hinei mashahorunu chachamim lizuchanu l'bracha hu sha'adam lo nivra ela lehis'aneg al Hashem v'leihanos miziv shchinasa." Shabbosai, to the answer to the question of ma chavaso ba'olamo, what is my obligation in this world? There's really two parts to that answer. There's we'll call a global answer and an individual answer. The individual answer as to what I'm here in this world to do, that's something that Ramchal can't tell me. Right? That's something each of us has to figure out on our own. But the global answer, in terms of, in general, what is the role, what is the obligation of man in this world, that the Ramchal says I could address. And Chazal tell us the role of man in this world is lehis'anig al Hashem, v'leihanos miziv shchinasa. So literally translated, to derive joy from one's connection to Hashem and to derive benefit from the Shechina. Shezeo hatanog ha'amiti v'ha'idun ha'godol mikol ha'idunim she'echalon lehimatzei. For this is the greatest enjoyment and this is the greatest pleasure that a person could find in this world. So I'll say, if you think about this, it's a fascinating idea that the Ramchal says, what's my job in this world? What's my job? To enjoy this world. That's my job. But ultimately, again, how do you enjoy, or how do you, differently. My job is to enjoy life. How do you enjoy life? We'll say, by the way, isn't this the $1 million question? How does one enjoy life? Enjoyment of life comes from a relationship with Hashem. That's where joy in life comes from. He goes on again. Adam lo nivra. I was only created lehis'aneg al Hashem. Ultimately, again, to go ahead and derive joy, to derive benefit, to derive pleasure from my kesher, from my connection to the Ribono Shel Olam. Now the truth is, where do you truly derive benefit and pleasure from one's relationship with Hashem? Ultimately in the world to come. In Olam Haba. Olam Haba is the true place where one derives benefit from that relationship. Ki hu hanivra ba'achona hamitztareches l'davar hazeh. So we'll see, here's an interesting thing. The entire purpose for which I was created was to go ahead and create a relationship with Hashem and to derive benefit from that relationship, to derive joy from that benefit. That's my avoda. But yet, interestingly enough, where's the place, the only place where you could truly enjoy that relationship with Hashem? That's in the world to come. Okay, so that leaves me a bit in a pickle, which is, so what's the role of this world? He says, but the way I ultimately arrive at the ability to actualize this goal is this world. This world is like a hallway, like an antechamber, like a gateway to the world to come. So you have this interesting dialectic. On one hand, we've answered the global question, what is my role in this world? My role in this world is to create a relationship with Hashem, which gives me pleasure, which gives me happiness, which gives me joy, which gives me fulfillment. That's the goal. But yet that actual joy and that actual fulfillment isn't fully felt in this world. It's really felt in the world to come. But here's the issue. The only way to get that joy and fulfillment in the world to come is to lead a meaningful existence in this world. For this world is the vehicle to next world enjoyment. This world is the vehicle to enjoying that relationship with Hashem in Olam Haba. He goes on, he says, and fundamentally, how does one utilize this world in creating a relationship, a meaningful bond with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that will give me incredible joy and incredible pleasure in the world to come as well? Hema mitzvos. Asher tzivanu aleim hakel yisbarach shemo. Ultimately, again, mitzvos. Mitzvos are the vehicles of connection. Mitzvos are the vehicles ultimately through which I forge a relationship. Rabbi says this is such an incredibly important yesod. Sometimes we look at mitzvos as, do's and don'ts, things I'm supposed to do, things I'm not supposed to do, and while that's absolutely true, we forget that the true power of a mitzvah is that it is the vehicle through which we forge relationship. The vehicle through which we forge relationship with Hashem. And he says, and of course, again, the only place where one could perform mitzvos is this world. You can't perform mitzvos in the next world. Therefore, he says, Husam ha'adam, bazeh ha'olam betchila. Therefore, a person ultimately goes ahead and is put in this world to begin with, right? A person begins life in this world. He says, Kidei she'al yidei ha'emtzai ma'ila hamizdamnin lo kan, yuchal lahagia el ha'makom asher hu chalo. Because mitzvos, once again, serve as the way through which we prepare for a meaningful relationship with Hashem, or I should say, serve as the way through which we create a meaningful relationship with Hashem. And through them we are able, how do you prepare for yourself a meaningful Olam Haba? Only by maximizing one's mitzvos in Olam Hazeh. Lirvos sham betova shekana lo aidem tzayim elu, v'huma she'omru zichronam livracha, hayom la'asosam, so what we have to stop over here for today, but I'll just point out something very interesting. So that Ramchal has told us a couple of very important things. Number one, the question to always ask ourselves, what is my obligation? What is my role in this world? Number two, the Ramchal answers that question. My job in this world is lehisanigal Hashem v'lehanos miziv shchinaso. My job in this world ultimately is to form a meaningful and pleasurable, enjoyable relationship with Hashem. But yet the true pleasure and joy from that relationship is really fully experienced in the world to come. But in order to, which makes sense, because ultimately in this world I have physical barriers, right? When I no longer have a physical barrier, that's when I enjoy my most intimate relationship with Hashem. But how do you get there? The way I get there is through Olam Hazeh. Maximization of Olam Hazeh. And how do you maximize this world? That's through mitzvos. Mitzvos are the vehicles through which we go ahead and create relationship. But yet, interestingly enough, the full impact of that relationship is not really fully felt in this world. The full impact of that relationship ultimately is felt in the world to come. I will say, I want to be clear, the Ramchal, and we really have to stop, the Ramchal is not chas v'shalom cheapening the experience of this world. He's not cheapening Olam Hazeh. What he's trying to do for us is to frame how we live our lives. I'm trying to figure out, ma chovasi ba'olami, what is my role, what is my job in this world? And the truth is, my job in this world is to create the one thing that transcends this world. And what's the one thing that transcends this world? My relationship with Hashem. That's the only thing that I have after 120. I have nothing else. I have my relationship with Hashem, and of course my mitzvos, which are part of my relationship with Hashem. That's it. My relationships, hopefully the people I love remember me. Hopefully they do. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But the only thing I quote unquote take with me is that relationship with Hashem. And the only place in which a person could create that relationship with Hashem is in this world. How we do that, how we make it meaningful, and how we make it sustainable, ultimately we'll continue tomorrow.